All right, last go around, guys. Here we go. All right, so we're going to pick up with what's underemployed. I'm not sure what slide we're on, like 12 or 13 in the poverty section. All right, so underemployed, working a job in which you're overqualified or working part-time and you desire full-time work. What happens there is it's somebody maybe who's made a move. As a matter of fact, my friend Sunshine, I told you, I think in one of the videos he's moving here, his wife's looking for a job. She's interviewed for a couple of jobs that she's overqualified for. What does that mean? Probably not going to get the job. Why? Because if they do give you the job, number one, they're going to have to pay way more than they really want to, and that's probably not going to happen. As we think about the cost of people and the cost of things when it comes to making products, and that the salary goes into that, and obviously the higher salary, the more benefits and things that go along with it. So she probably will not get that job because she's overqualified. If she does get that job, she may have to take a pay that is not what really what she desires and what she wants. Now, sometimes you have to do that. Why? Like right now, there's probably going to be people out there who may have been laid off for overqualified jobs that they're going to take other jobs along the way to try to supplement their pay. That may be temporary, it may be long term. So that's what happens when you're underemployed. Sorry to say some M&Ms, and so I just realized that it's making my mouth really dry. So what's that? Again, underemployed. So that's not good. That's not a good thing. Now, some people make that choice. There have been plenty of people out there who maybe go and become a doctor, who go get their a doctor, a physicist doctor, something like that, and they wind up wanting to go bag groceries at the grocery store or work at Walmart because it's a simpler life. That may happen, that's your personal choice, but this is when you're looking for a job, you're actually looking for a job with your degree, and you end up being underemployed for that. So you can go a lot of different reasons why that may or may not occur. I think the question was something about that, so I don't want to get too much details, give too much away, because I'm probably going to participate in this discussion board since we have fewer people. But underemployed, that's not a good thing for you most of the time. What's a discouraged worker? Okay, discouraged workers. See, some people during a long recession give up hope finding work, and they are known as discouraged workers. So what is that? That's just somebody who's given up trying to look for a job. Why is that important? Because they do not count in the unemployment rate. We talked about the unemployment rate last week. If you're a discouraged worker and you're no longer actively working for a job, you are not in the unemployment rate. You do not count towards the economy. You've given up. So how many people out there maybe who have given up looking for a job are still technically unemployed, but they're not counted by the government in the unemployment rate? So discouraged worker, they've given up working. Some of those people may have once been underemployed and then eventually became discouraged workers when they gave up on the job search. All that good stuff. Say hey. Go. So they've stopped looking for employment, and they may need to rely on family members or savings for support. So they've given up work. Now they've dug off into their savings, which is obviously not going to last, most likely, on the extent of their life. They're having to rely on family members, but only so long will a family member probably let you live with them without a job. But they're not looking for a job. They've quit looking. They're a discouraged worker, and so they're not counting the unemployment rate. Basically, dependent in the home of their family members, things like that. So that's no good. That's no good for anybody. Discouraged workers are not appearing in unemployment, as I mentioned already. Talking about Bureau of Labor Statistics, talked about that last time, I believe, because they're not actively looking for work. They are not unemployed because they are not looking for a job. Effects of terrorism on the recession and what really happened there. See, what you have is September 11 attacks caused millions of jobs, 1.52 million jobs. And what you a lot of times think about, of course, with the terrorist attacks of 9/11 is the World Trade Center. Were those jobs lost? Absolutely they were lost. Were the buildings around there, were those jobs lost? Absolutely, because there was no building there. That job didn't exist where the building didn't exist. Maybe eventually they came back, but currently they did not exist as a job, and people were laid off. Unfortunately, those who survived in some of that stuff, they lost their job in some areas. Maybe not everybody, because we're not a totally completely cruel world, but for the most part, a lot of people lost their jobs because the building in which the job was held did not exist anymore, and to rebuild and things like that may have cost money. It was not every job, but obviously a lot of jobs. But that was only a small fraction of the jobs, because there were other ones lost as well. And you people, as the coronavirus generation that we all get to be, you'll have seen some of these effects. We got to understand that kind of the same idea has happened because of that. Travel. We can think about that from now's perspective, and go back to the recession in the early part of 2000s. Travel. How does travel lose jobs? If you're not on an airplane and you're not going places, people are going to lose their job. People at the airport are going to lose their job. People at the travel location are going to lose their job. People at the rental car place are going to lose their job. You can just add and add to it. The gas people who are supplying gas because you're not traveling are going to lose their job. The amount of jobs being lost due to travel is absolutely ridiculous, and I can't even think of all of them right now if I wanted to. But you can start breaking it down, thinking about all the different jobs that could be lost just through travel. Tourism and travel kind of go hand in hand, but you think about tourism as a place that you're going, not just a beach. That's a vacation spot. Tourism, museums, people that have employees there that are going to lose money that they're going to have to fire because people are not going. People in New York who spend their time, their days at the Metropolitan Museum, and they're not able. The Met. They're not able to go because of the the coronavirus. How much money is the Met losing? You think about tourism as a whole, not just vacation spots, but places, historical places, things that people go to and pay money to keep those things alive, and have very few people with a job now cannot afford to be paid because of that. So this happens in 9/11. This happens again in coronavirus days. COVID-19. Air transportation, again, attaches into travel, but you can go, the mechanics that work on airplanes, the pilots of the airplanes, the people who walk around the aisles, I can't think of their names right now, security guards at the airport, the janitors at the airport, the list goes on and on and on. Everybody that has something to do with air transportation, they lost their jobs during 9/11. You're seeing that now. That you haven't seen a lot of it talked about much, necessarily because of the coronavirus being the main thing on the news, but you're going to see these consequences of this much like you did in September 11th. I know somebody who was wanted to actually go to write a comparative paper of the effects of 9/11 versus the effects of COVID-19 and the economic part of things. Of course, I mentioned this already. The World Trade Center and the areas around, those jobs were lost during that time. So major effects, and that was a major part of what led to the recession because so many people, 1.5 to 2 million people were out of a job. It's a huge number when you think about the amount of jobs lost like that, basically. Yes, these first few did not necessarily come about until later on as we started to see the effects of it. But in one instant, that 1.5, the COVID-19, one instance, all of a sudden we're in a whole different place. Stupid COVID-19 is a stupid way to say it. The coronavirus.